Hey pastry puffs! Welcome back to Strudel Reviews. It's your girl Strudel. And today we're going to be doing a really exciting video because, this is, one of three shows. Well, one of three franchises that I have a very specific nostalgic attachment to, even though I was a little bit older than the intended age group for two of them. Y'all know one of them is Winx. And then the one we're going to be talking about today is actually Monster High in celebration of its return. Even though this is the second reboot, because the Monster High the movie is going to be coming to Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon on October 6th. This is not a sponsored video, mind you. I just really excited about the return of Monster High, and I just want to share it with all my fellow Monster High fans. And speaking of this new Monster High, we've seen leaks for Cleo, and then today there were literal leaks of Frankie, Draculaura, and Claudine. And I'm just gonna state my opinion without sharing any photos, because y'all know I cannot edit for shit. And also, Mattel and Viacom are specifically Viacom is super petty, and they will copyright claim your video. And there's a YouTuber that I know, a YouTuber that I watch very frequently. If y'all know, they had shared, made a video on, Monster High leaks, and it completely blurred out every single doll. And they still got copyright claimed. So I'm just not going to show any images at all. If y'all want to know, just Google it. But today's video is actually going to be me talking about some of my favorite Monster High lines. 90% of them are from Gen 1. But, one of them's from Gen 2, and y'all are going to hear me out when we get to that. So let's start off with this list. The first one I have on my list is Haunted, because, oh my god, I loved that movie. And, the dolls were so freaking pretty. And in that line, we had, for the new characters, we had River Styx, the daughter of the Grim Reaper. Kiyomi Haunterly, the daughter of the Naprabu, or the Faceless Ghost, which is the translation. Because, the Faceless Ghost is a Japanese tale. Y'all know I love me some Asian culture, so I always get excited whenever we get new cultures introduced. And then Vandala Doubloons, the daughter of a pirate ghost. And again, I was so fucking excited because I love the Grim Reaper. I love Asian cultures. I just love learning about any culture in general. And then fucking Vandala is a pirate. I love pirates. Pirates are everything. So, when I saw Vandala, I was like, oh, I live for Vandala. And then, the fourth one was Portergeist. I think son of a poltergeist. And, my thing about Porter is he was voiced by the legendary Todd Haberkorn. Oh my god. I was so excited. I love Todd's work. Todd Haberkorn is Todd Haberkorn's a genius. I love Todd Haberkorn's, he does amazing voice work. And then, Laura Bailey. Laura Bailey is another one, but we'll get back to Laura Bailey in a moment. I can't. All right. Oh, and for the Slim Box dolls, we had Twyla, Draculaura, Claudine, Rochelle, and then I believe Spectra was a Walmart exclusive, if y'all were wondering. Now we can move on to the next line, which is called Music Festival. Because, like, y'all know, a girl loves I love music. And if I didn't have an issue where, like, crowds cause me, like, panic and stress, I would have probably gone to at least one music festival or a concert before I had mini Strudel. But with the music festival line, that consisted of Venus McFlytrap, Abby Abominable, and Claudine Wolfe, who you could get pretty much anywhere. And aside from... And then there was a Kmart exclusive 2-pack of Draculaura and Claude. Believe it or not, Music Festival Claude is probably my favorite Claude because just the way he looks is, like, literally everything. Alright, and then moving on from Music Festival, we're going to be talking about another Monster High movie line, which is 13 Wishes. 13 Wishes is literally the best Monster High movie they ever made, and you cannot tell me any fucking different. Because with the 13 Wishes line, you had the release of the 4 basic ghouls, being a redesign for Howling Wolf, a redesign for Laguna Blue, who, mind you, was voiced by Laura Bailey. Laura Bailey is another fucking fantastic voice actor. Fucking Toru Honda herself. I fucking live for that shit. And then the two out of the 3 new characters of that movie were Twyla and Gigi Grant, who are respectively Twyla being the daughter of the boogeyman and Gigi Grant being the daughter of the genie, or the jinn. Most likely the genie. It was spelled the Arabic way, which, again, Gigi, new culture, had me very excited because, like, I have a thing for like, y'all know, I have a thing for magic and genies and monsters, and we're gonna be touching on the third one in another video, but right now it's all about fucking Monster High, and they were, like, literally my awakening for my goth aesthetic. But, and then, aside from those 4 basic releases, we also had, like, the Haunt the Casbah, Frankie, Claudine, and Draculaura available everywhere, and then there was a Haunt the Casbah Abby that was exclusive to Walmart. And 13 Wishes had 2 playsets, one of them being an Oasis playset that came with an exclusive Cleo Denial, and the other one being the little DJ booth that appeared at the end of the movie that came with an exclusive Spectra, although Holt would have made more sense as he was the DJ, but I digress. And then that movie also introduced Wisp and Caddy Noir, who got her own standalone doll that same year, but I think she was released after 13 Wishes. I just don't remember how long afterwards. And then the next movie on this list, next doll line on this list, because I forgot I was talking about doll lines, is another movie line. It is literally Scarist City of Frights, because, again, when I was a kid, I, like, had this obsession with, like, Paris. Like, just wanting to go to Paris and, like, learning the language, like, wanting to, like, learn about, like, their fashions and, like, just their culture and their language, because I just found it all so fascinating. And with the Scarist line, you actually had 5 of the basic dolls, which consisted of Frankie Stein, Claudine Wolfe, Rochelle Goyle, and then two of the new characters, Jennifer Long and Scalita Calaveras. Again, like, Rochelle being being the French culture, Jennifer Long being the Chinese culture. Again, y'all know I want to learn about as many cultures as possible, and Skelita being Mexican made me very excited because I just love like how many other cultures celebrate their way of life. And then we had four of the budget dolls, which consisted of Draculaura, Abby Abominable, Gulia Yelps, and Deuce Gorgon. They didn't really come with much aside from like the doll and like a bag. And then we had two store exclusives. The first one being the basic Wave Katrine, being exclusive to Walmart at the time. And then the Cleo and Laguna 2-pack being exclusive to Toys R Us when they were still in existence. And then although Toralei made an appearance in the movie, they had her wear just a fashion pack. I don't know what the name of the fashion pack was, but there was a Toralei fashion pack, which they used for the Scaris movie and like something we'll talk about in a few minutes. And then Garrett DeRoch, although being introduced in the movie, did not get a doll to like the Love and Scaris 2-pack, which was like literally pretty much end of line Monster High. All right, and for the next one, I kind of cheated and I put Freak du Chic, Ghoul Fair, and Scarnival because all three of those lines played a big part in the 3-act Freak du Chic webisodes, and like y'all know I don't know what it is about the circus, but I just fucking live for like the circus shit, honey. For the Freak du Chic line, we had the five basic dolls you could get anywhere, which was Frankenstein, Toralei, Honey Swamp, Jennifer Long, and Gulliape Jellington, who was the new character for that release. And Gulliape was like the first ever 17-inch Monster High doll. And holy shit, was she awesome! And then there was a playset, which was like literally the Freak du Chic like thing, and it came with an exclusive Rochelle Goyle. And then I believe there was an exclusive Twyla and Claudine Wolf, and I believe both of them were exclusive to Target. But like they didn't have any like exclusivity stickers like on the boxes, so I can't be 100% sure on that fact. And then the Ghoul Fair line had 4 dolls, and they were a budget line, and that consisted of Heath Burns, Howleen Wolf, Elizabeth, and Scara Screams, which characters we didn't get to see enough of, and like I appreciated a lot. And then the third one being Scarnival, which makes me so excited because it had Draculaura, it had Skelita Calaveras, and it had Claude Wolf. I just found it so cool that all of the Wolf siblings had circus and fair themed line. We're a part of like a massive line, essentially, because I consider Ghoul Fair and Scarnival a part of the Freak du Chic line, as you know, you can't have a circus without a fair. It's common knowledge. All right, and for the next one on this list, I put Coffin Bean. And y'all are like, Coffin Bean? Isn't Coffin Bean a playset? Yes. It is a playset, and it had 2 different variations. One where it was just Claudine Wolf by herself, you could get at pretty much any retailer, and the box had Claudine, Roller Maze Frankie, and her Day at the Mall fashion pack, and then the original Laguna Blue, because I finally figured out who it was, in her Day at the Mall fashion pack, but I just call it the Coffin Bean fashion pack because it's literally plastered all over every Coffin Bean box. So it only seems fair to consider that Coffin Bean Laguna. And then there was a variant of the Coffin Bean playset that was a Costco exclusive that came with an exclusive Draculaura. And instead of Frankie being in the red chair, they had Draculaura. But a couple of years after the Coffin Bean playset, whichever variant, like both variants of the Coffin Bean playset were released, we had gotten 2 waves of a budget box line of the Coffin Bean, with the first wave consisting of Frankie Stein, Toralei, and Abby Abominable, and then the second wave consisting of Venus McFlytrap, Rebecca Steam, and Twyla. Which, again, the Coffin Bean, in my personal opinion, is one of my all-time favorite lines, and, like, I've literally been trying to find reasonably priced Coffin Bean dolls and the Coffin Bean playset so I could do, like, a review on that line as a whole, because I feel like that would be a lot of fun. And then after the Coffin Bean, I put the Boo York line. Yes, I know, another movie, and the first Monster High musical, because the new Monster High movie that's coming out is the second musical in Monster High's history. And Boo York was, like, such a really good movie. I loved it. And it had multiple dolls. Like, it had new characters: Luna Matthews, LED, Mousadie's King, and LED. And then there was a Cleo and Deuce 2-pack. And then there was a Galagul, and then slim box releases of Nephra Denial and Caddy Noir. And then I believe this City Seekers line only consisted of Draculaura, Claudine Wolfe, and Operetta. I don't think Frankie got a doll. There was supposed to be a doll for Pharaoh / Seth Ptolemy, but it got scrapped at the very last second, which, boo, you suck. You should have given us the Pharaoh. We would have eaten that out of the palm of your hands, Mom. Miss Ma'am. I'm sorry, I got so heated that they did Pharaoh so fucking dirty. Him and Caddy deserved so much fucking better. Alright, and then for the next line, I put the Monster Exchange line, and y'all are gonna be like, what do you mean the Monster Exchange line? Hear me out. The first wave that consisted of Marisol Kochi, Larna McNessie, Laguna Blue, and Draculaura was so cool, because Marisol and Lorna were coming to Monster High from their countries of Monster Pichu and Rotland, while Laguna and Draculaura had went to Laguna going to Madrid and Draculaura going to Shibuya, which literal, like, so excited they finally did an exchange program, because I don't think most of you remember this, but Laguna herself is an exchange student from the Great Scarier Reef, which was a name change because in the Escape from Skull Shores movie they called it the Great Barrier Reef, but I'm not gonna nitpick. And then there was a second wave of the Monster Exchange program, which consisted of Isidon Dancer, Kirsty Trollson, and Batsy Claro. And then you could say Finnegan Wake could be included in this line, even though he was a Shop Ms. Hell exclusive, which that sucked because I really liked Finnegan. It was pretty cool. And then there was supposed to be a third wave where, like, Claudine was going to be going to another country. They were supposed to have a character from, like, South America. They were supposed to have a character from Russia, and then one other character. And it is so sad that that line got scrapped. And the next line I have is Gloom and Bloom, because oh my fucking god, that line was so fucking amazing. I think the 3 dolls you could get just about anywhere were, and I have to make sure my memory serves me correctly, I know one of them was Venus McFlytrap. I think it was Venus McFlytrap, Katrine Demew, and Jane Doolittle being the three you could get just about anywhere. And then Cleo Denial and Jennifer Long were, again, Target exclusives. And then you could technically include Amanita Nightshade into this line, although she was a solo release, very similar to Caddy Noir and Casta Fierce, who were her predecessors, as I believe the Gloom and Bloom line was released in 2015. But it was one of my favorite, like, dance lines that they have ever done. And it was so pretty, so elegant, and I loved that it was floral theme. Okay, and then the next one on this list, I know some of y'all gonna be mad, but hear me out. It is the only Gen 2 line that made it on this list, and I'm sure y'all can understand for what reasons why, and I put the Shriek Wrecked line. Which I sadly don't remember all of the characters who were in that line, but I know that was Guliope's second release. There was the Laguna, Claudine, Draculora, Gil, Rochelle. I don't know if I said Katrine, but there was a new character released in that line called Dana Treasurer Jones, and there was supposed to be a movie to go with this line where, like, essentially the ghouls are going on another cruise, and then, like, Calliope causes them to go off course, or causes them to shriek wrecked back, like, to on Skull Shores again, and then I guess they met, like, Dana Treasurer Jones there. And I assume that Vandala and River were gonna be a part of that movie, because if you look at Dana Treasurer Jones's bio, it mentions her BFFs are Vandala Doubloons and River Styx, which makes me assume that Shriek-Wrecked was supposed to be a Gen 1 doll line that was supposed to be released after the flop known as Great Scarier Reef, and we do not talk about her. And then for the next line, I put Sweet Screams. You know, the candy themed line that had Frankie Stein, Draculora, Ghoulia Yelps, and Abby Abominable. My lord, those were absolutely breathtaking. I loved the anime-esque, like, the anime look that they gave Draculora. Like, my lord, it was beautiful. Frankie looks stunning in red, mama. Yes, please, give it to me. And, like, Abby in black, Abby is goth. That is goth Abby, and you cannot tell me any freaking different. And, like, Ghoulia, oh my gosh, Ghoulia was so adorable. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. It was great. It was fantastic. Like, oh, yes. Please. Give it to me. And then for the last one, I put down the Skeletor dolls, even though I know they're supposed to be for adults. The very first one being the Amazon exclusive Draculora doll, if y'all remember that one. And then the next year, Scalita Calaveras got one. And then during the reboot era, they made one for Abby, which made her look like she was a part of the Electrified line. And oof, mama, that was a choice. And then in 2020, we had gotten the Pennywise and Grady twins dolls, which they, like, got snapped up so damn fast. And then 2021, we had gotten the Beetlejuice and Lydia 2-pack, and then Greta Gremlin, who I almost fucking bought, because mama, I love the Gremlins so fucking much. Yes, please. And, like, again, those two sold out almost immediately. And then I'm gonna mention the Hunt Couture line because, like, it was cute. Like, I liked it, but it was not worth $80 in my opinion, so I sat it out. And they got snapped up real fast, too. And then the most recent Skeletor doll, Dracula, who is a black and white doll, like, ugh, yes. I'm living for the Universal Monster theme this year, because the first year it was Stephen King. The second year it was, I wouldn't say it was Tim Burton theme, because The Gremlins was not a Tim Burton film, if my memory serves me correctly. But, it had to probably do with some sort of studio. And then this year, it's supposed to be the Universal Monsters theme, and so many of us are speculating that this year is going to be there's going to be another 2-pack this year, and we're speculating that it could be Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein, which would be so cool. And I think some quick honorable mentions for this list would be the Skulltimate Roller Maze line. I loved it. It was so cute. The movie Friday Night Frights was like such an adorable pairing. The Sweet 1600 line that paired with the Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love movie. So cute. And then finally the SDCC exclusives. Like 2010 being Black and White Frankie, 2011 being the Ghoulia is Dead Fast doll, 2012 being Scara Screams and Hoodooed, 2013 being Wydonna Spider as Webberella, a part of the Power Ghouls line, like Ghoulia is Dead Fast. And then 2014 being Iris Klops in the Manny Tour 2-pack, 2015 being the Kieran Valentine and Wisp Jeannie Grant 2-pack, and then 2016 getting the dual release of the Rebecca and Hezekiah Steam 2-pack and the Monster High X Ghostbusters Frankenstein release, and then the supposed SDCC 27 release of the Cleo Denial and Ghoulia Yelps 2-pack, but got canceled for an SDCC exclusive at the very last second. So they wound up making it a Shop Mattel exclusive like Finnegan Wake was, but in the end, I still classify it as an SDCC exclusive, as that's what it was intended to be as. And I would like to thank y'all for coming and watching me talk about one of the second franchise that I have a nostalgic attachment to. So the first one being Winx Club, the second one being Monster High, and the third one to be announced, but I'm sure y'all can figure it out if y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. And I know this one's a bit of a longer one, so if you feel like you need to... I should have clarified this, but before you... I hope y'all had a snack and a drink and somewhere comfortable to relax. And I want to thank Ash and his girlfriend Margot for being my guest stars today, as I know y'all didn't want to stare at a plain fucking background when this bitch can't edit for shit. So if y'all liked this, please like, share, and subscribe. And I want to thank y'all for watching. And also, my channel just hit 3,000 viewers, so thank you guys so much for that. I might do a special episode coming up soon, so see y'all in the next one. Bye!